Hey, welcome to episode 13 of the New Slang Podcast. I'm Thomas Mooney, the editor of New Slang here in Lubbock. And we've been on break, I guess, for a couple weeks. Kind of ran out of podcast episodes to air. But this week we're going to be getting two out. This first one right here is a Nashville roundtable kind of thing. It's with me, my buddy Ross Cooper, who is a Lubbock songwriter living in Nashville right now, David Borné, and Ben Danaher, two guys who moved up to Nashville in the last, 5 years or so. Anyways, we were sitting there in Nashville at Third Lindsley in the green room, and we recorded this podcast and talked about Nashville music. I guess like the fake Texas versus Nashville, war, if you want to call it. I don't know, beef, something like that. Talked about Jason Isbell and Sturgill Simpson and all kinds of music stuff. It was a really enjoyable conversation that we had while we were drinking a couple of cups of coffee. And anyway, so that's what this podcast is. And I'm not going to just ramble on about just junk anymore. We'll just go ahead and get straight to the episode. So here it is. Yeah, so I'm from Lubbock, not originally. That's where Ross is from. Ross, like, how did you meet these guys? Like, what was like the
J date?
J date.
Farmers only.
Farmers. Ben and I played this show. We were support on a show from a Texas artist, probably 6 years ago.
No, more than that.
You think?
Yeah,
7 years ago. I was living down in College Station, and I remember I was playing acoustic, and then Ben was direct support, and I didn't really look. I'd met him, and we didn't really talk, but I liked kind of what he was doing. We had a bunch of mutual friends, Texas, how to, like everybody knows everybody. And then, I came to Nashville to kind of get a feel for the town and didn't know, anything. Didn't really know anybody here. It was my mom and I, and we walked in to catch time jumpers, and it was back, almost 4 years ago. And literally the first person I saw was Ben. I was like, hey, man, it's been do you remember me? Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, cool. Yeah, he's like, yeah. And it's and now it's funny because I understand that mindset. It's so many people move here now, and we're seeing so many more Texans move here where it's
85 people a day, I heard.
Is it really?
That's the
Wow.
Ridiculous. It's
someone calculated it. It wasn't me.
It's 100. They said 100,000 people a year, but where are they going to put them? Anyway, but I get that. It's so many Texans are moving here now, and just so many people are moving here now, and they're so excited. But it's I feel like I've been here long enough. I know you have. Where it's
how many years are you at?
Almost 4, and you're.
I'm at 6, and you.
Almost 5, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I feel like a seasoned vet now.
Yeah.
It used to feel like it's not that. It doesn't seem like it's that long, but most of the people you meet now are fresh off the boat.
And everybody's so excited to be here and to get here, and I think a lot of people have a notion, if they hadn't visited Nashville or hadn't worked here before, about what this town is or how it works. And most of the time they have no idea, and it's just funny. I don't feel like I'm jaded now, but I completely understand. I kind of understand Ben's shoes when I first walked into Third Lindsley 4 years ago. Hey man, let's write sometime. Blah blah blah. And it's cool man. Welcome to town.
I'm happy to write with
Who's
you.
this weirdo?
No, we did. But that was, which is funny because I don't know why it works this way, but talking about that Billy Joe Shaver book. That picture, it's with Doug Syme and Waylon and Billy Joe. It's a picture from 73 or 74, and it said back in those days all the Texans banded together, hung out together, and it's kind of like that now. I didn't really know Ben, and there's a couple other Ryan Beaver is a guy that I met once at Blue Light. But I mean, y'all two and Borné and just it's weird how
I am from Louisiana, but I do feel like I'm adopted
Yeah.
into the Texas, the clan of Nashville and the Midtown Freak Show and all those crazy
totally.
people.
It's weird though how Texans kind of band together because I didn't know them but really before I moved here, and then they're just some of my best buddies, and just coincidentally we're from Texas, kind of.
Yeah. That's one of those things, though, is like down in Texas right now, there's still this stigma against Nashville. All these shithead kids who think that there's like this versus thing. And it's like, well, all your favorite Texas songwriters who are doing Texas country or doing songwriter stuff, they're recording in Nashville. Yeah. So why are you buying into this like battle, this war?
I don't
what,
think
what,
Nashville,
what is it
I don't
like?
think Nashville buys into it at all.
Well, no, I'm not saying Nashville does at all. I'm saying like
I don't.
Texas kids. Like, what is it up here though? Do you even see a hint of that or anything? Like,
I understand the argument. When I was living in Texas, I was going to a bunch of shows that, my brother played guitar for Pat Green for the last 17, 20 years or whatever, and it's watching that kind of thing start. That was like the beginning of the Texas country kind of like movement, and it was based around like this anti-establishment kind of like screw everything that's going on with. I guess the main points of it were like you could hire a radio promoter and payola and push a single to a national market, and it was like Clear Channel was controlling all this stuff, and then that's kind of all swept into Texas, I feel like, to where that game is being played on a minor league level, money-wise, as far as like what's going on here. I mean, granted, there's really good stuff in Texas and there's really good stuff here, but I think just what Texas sees of Nashville is what's on the CMA Awards or whatever, and so like I would have a bad taste in it too if that's all I saw.
Yeah. I think
Hell,
like
I
there's
did.
a lot of it.
Before I moved here, it like before I really kind of understood what this town could be, I had the same taste in my mouth because when my introduction into music, I had a brother that's 5 years older, and when Pat Green and Corey Morrow and people were chanting like Nashville sucks at those shows, like I remember all that. And I was like, yeah, you know what, man, Nashville does suck because this song sucks, like blah blah blah. And when you only see that one side, it's really easy to believe that. And but this has become a mecca for I think all things music. Everybody's.
Well, it's the funny thing though is like all these guys down in Texas, they're bashing Nashville 1 minute, and then they're like, well, Jason Isbell, he's incredible. Like Todd Snyder, he's incredible, and it's like those guys are all up in Nashville.
Man.
Before when I was
Sturgill Simpson, all kinds of cool stuff.
When I was
No, you can curse on
Oh
it.
yeah, we're not on the radio.
yeah, fuck, you can cuss.
Fucking hey, that was stressing me out.
When I was deciding on whether or not to move up here, I talked to there's a songwriter that lives here. He's written some pretty big songs named Alan Shamblin, and he was from the same town that we grew up in. And I had a long talk with him, and he broke it down to me. He's like, who are all your heroes? And it was Towns Van Zandt, Guy Clark. And they're all Texans because, they all live in Nashville or at least spent time there, to where.
I rode here forever, right? I mean,
yeah.
Well, shit, Towns lived here for like a long time. I guess they both kind of did.
I get it. I mean, I think the people ask me that all the time about like living in Austin versus living in Nashville. Like Austin is a great place to tour from, and there's a lot of opportunity there, and the Texas scene is really welcoming, and there's a lot of stuff going on there too. But there's not much of a business there. Like, so if your aspiration is to be a published songwriter or to get help in any way on putting on a record, then I don't know if Austin is necessarily the right place to be living until some of that develops. Like there wasn't publishing companies when I was down there. There wasn't record labels. There was booking agents and managers, and those guys all helped. But yeah, I mean,
and it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of apples and oranges too. Because if you're so far immersed into that Texas culture, and that's all you know, then that's all you know. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think it's. I think it's just a different way. I think you're right. It comes down to what you aspire to do. Like we have great friends that tour every weekend and don't necessarily have to leave Texas, and can kind of cut out a really great living, and can build a huge fan base of people that still buy CDs. Like, where else does that exist?
Christian
and if you
music,
aspire to, like, if
but
your goal is to sell out whatever, you know.
You said the S word, dude.
No, I'm saying if your goal is to sell out whatever the big venue is in Texas, you know,
Billy
build
Bob's.
that. Do what?
Billy Bob's.
Yeah, if your goal is
something.
to sell out Billy Bob's and, you know, reach that tour bus level, and like it's totally doable. But if you, I don't know, just like, I think it really comes down to like where you feel like you fit in though too. Like, I didn't feel like I fit in that market, and I didn't really know where I was supposed to feel like I fit in. So I came here on a whim, kind of. You know?
Yeah.
I almost moved to Austin too, and I was.
I love Austin.
I love Austin too, but it's funny because Nashville musically is so much more diverse than Austin. When like Austin's keeping it weird, but it's like that's like if you're doing like the Texas country thing, especially, it's
Or
like
blues, yeah.
or
It's
blues.
like,
It's like, I mean, I moved to Nashville because I was like, oh cool, like Jack White lives in Nashville. Like it's not just like this twangy country and you know whoever, a bunch of all those other bands.
It's
you
funny. Nashville's funny.
Black
you know, like
Keys.
Black
I've seen it
Keys,
kind of
yeah.
in the last couple of years turn a little bit, like where it was, you know, it was truck anthems, like, and that was the Music Row thing. And so when I dove into Music Row to try to like get songs cut or whatever,
Right.
that's all I was getting pushed into.
Right.
But then I would see like the hipsters had the twang.
Yeah.
And it was like you had to go to the 5 spot to hear a steel
Exactly.
guitar.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
Or,
really-
like,
yeah.
It was interesting, and then thank God like the Time Jumpers popped up, or I mean they've always been doing it, but it got on a bigger kind of scale for them. But it was
Yeah.
I don't know.
Time Jumpers, and I think Jason Isbell changed
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
You know,
it did a
changed the
lot.
whole Nashville, and then Stapleton eventually. But like, that was like the winds of change towards, you know, just more raw music. You know, actually being successful. When he went '1, he had a #1 country record. You know, top
Yeah.
5 Billboard record. That was
Yeah, it was interesting.
that was huge. It's like, oh, okay, wait, maybe everything doesn't have to be the same.
My marker on that, you know, I would go home every year to tour, and I was down for something in my hometown, and usually it's like, have you heard the new Toby Keith single, or have you heard the new Jason Aldean song?
Yeah.
And this last year, this one of my best friends from high school was like, so what do you think of this Chris Stapleton? And I was like, we finally
everywhere,
We finally
man.
made it.
I went home
We
too,
finally
everywhere.
Bridged the gap.
I just went on a kayaking trip with like 11 strangers who from like all over. It's a long story, but from all over the Jay Date, from all over the country,
J-Date.
and all of them knew who Chris Stapleton was. I mean, this was like you couldn't have picked 11 more random people, and they were just that was the person they knew.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about like anyone like Jason Isbell or anyone like that. But
Yeah.
I mean, Stapleton has busted through. That's what happens when Justin Timberlake sings.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
On
It's
an
like,
award
do you
show.
think it's partly because of the whole
Yeah.
Timberlake? Just that.
Oh yeah.
I think
'Cause-
partly, but man, that guy was a bubble waiting to burst.
Oh, yeah, he
And
earned
there's
it.
a decade going on of, I think they put together a playlist of
Yeah.
over 100 songs that he had recorded on
Crazy.
different records.
Stapleton.
Yeah, on
He
Spotify.
has over 305 cuts alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that, like,
If you listen to those
But
first two Steel Driver records,
Yeah.
it's that's some of the best
The Steel
songwriting
Driver stuff
I've ever
is
heard
so
of.
killer,
Like,
man.
It's insane that they took
And I
that
think-
long for people
well,
to
it's
grab
funny
it.
that you and I were talking about this other day. Even 2 years ago, like Stapleton, Steel Drivers were doing playing here at Third Lindsley like every Halloween. It was like this kind of staple show.
Don't even
That's
say
so
it.
That's so dumb. But you could still get like tickets like day of or day before. You know what I mean? It was a badass it was a badass show. It was a great show. We're gonna sing like it was. I went I guess the last 2 years they had it, and then it's just funny how much can change in a year or two. And then like I remember right after that award show when he when Timberlake sang with him, it was like downtown Nashville the next week is like so many little Stapleton clones, you know, like beards and like the hat and shit.
Everybody's
Yeah.
playing Jazz
Yeah.
Masters.
Yeah, that's right.
I've seen an influx of jazz masters actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's super awesome that that's what's getting recognized right now, and it's making it. I think it's going to make it easier for all three of us. You know, I mean, I know most of the meetings I have now are very different from from 3 years ago. It just used to be, how do we spin what you're doing to like this super country thing, or whatever, polished thing, and now it's like, it's just more accepting, I think, to the middle ground, the in-betweeners, the whatever the Americana bad word is.
The left of centers.
The left of centers, yes.
Ben loves that term.
Well, I don't. When I was moving up here, it pissed me off to be called left of center because I was aspiring to be country music.
Yep.
Like Hank
That's
Williams
true.
or
Well, it'd be center.
Daryl Scott.
or,
And it's
yeah.
like you're basically getting crucified for trying to
I see that.
to do something that
That
you
used to
feel
be center.
is the goal.
Exactly.
And like because
Yeah,
they
that is
can't
bullshit.
use it or do anything with it, they're basically making you feel like what you're doing is wrong.
Yep.
And that was kind of rubbed me the wrong way about it, but we'll see. What
Yeah,
happens.
I see it in hindsight. Yeah, those meetings were kind of crazy.
So
That-
okay,
Same thing, getting called that. It's like, well,
Mhm. I had one guy listen
Whatever.
to a song and go, "Oh, it's got that Texas thing," and I was like, "The only reason you said that is because I told you I moved here from Texas.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah.
the song sounded like a blues song. It didn't sound like a Texas song. I don't know."
hilarious.
okay, this is one of those questions that it's no right answer, it's probably even unanswerable. But which of the three guys, Stapleton, Isbell, or Sturgill, is the most replicable? Like who's gonna
Replicable?
who are they gonna copy? Who are they gonna copy of those three?
No, I don't.
Stapleton.
I don't even. Well,
Because
okay.
there'll be people like him that are like bluesy country people. Like he's as good as it gets. But I think people will try to copy that. I think that'll be because how do you copy Jason Isbell or the other two? Like who could even?
The only argument I would have against that, and I'm a Sturgill fan. I don't want this to be taken as a knock at all. But when you compare Sturgill with old Waylon records,
Yeah.
it's like
His voice sounds similar. Yeah.
his
But
voice
he
sounds
says
similar,
that,
but I kind of think I understand the question a little more stylistically. It's like if you're going.
I mean, his new record is nothing like a
but that
Waylon
vocal,
record.
and then that first record with the you throw chorus
Oh,
on the guitar with that deeper baritone.
Oh no, he
voice,
definitely
it
had it.
sounds like a Waylon.
I don't, but I mean, he can't help what he sounds like.
No, not at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just. I think,
But I mean, you're talking maybe songwriting wise. Is that what you're saying?
I
of the
don't
first
think
record?
I kind of the first thought that popped in my head. I don't think I really understood the question until you answered it, and I was like, okay. So I would. Yeah. I don't know. Fuck.
I just think that there's people that blues country thing. Like Jason Isbell is such a master wordsmith. Like that is irreplicable to me.
Right.
And then Sturgill is on another planet in terms of like what's in his brain and his intelligence. That every time I hear him talk, I'm like, this guy is a genius.
I agree with what you're saying. Like, they're a little more unique lyrically.
And then this isn't a knock on Stapleton. Like I think he's the shit.
There is like it's hard to write lyrics that are that comprehensible to like a mainstream market,
Yes.
and Chris like masters that. You know,
Yes.
it's like it's not too difficult.
No, it's for the
but
masses,
still
and it's
clever as
amazing. Yeah,
shit.
it's beautiful.
So yeah, it fits in the pocket. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like of what a lot of people can identify with.
Yeah,
So yeah, I agree with that.
I think there will be a lot of people trying to do that and not as well coming up.
I
Because it's the one making the most money.
Yeah, I 100% agree. It kind of goes into this little bit of a theory that I have on the three. I guess we can all kind of agree that those three are the top that are like driving
the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
There should
at least
probably
right now.
be one of the badass ladies with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw. I would throw. I don't know. Brandy Clark's pretty badass.
Brandy's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, Musgraves is bad. There are a bunch of really good ones.
Would you throw Laura McKenna?
Lori McKenna.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would. I probably
favorite
would too. She's
Yeah.
a master. But yeah, that's like
But there's some pretty badass chicks that are doing some cool shit, man. Like I like Lindy Ortega's stuff. I think she's cool.
But I don't think anyone else is going to be close to them
Well-
right now. I mean, Hayes Carl
Yeah.
is probably in like the top. Probably the next tier is like a few. of
Yeah, I
them.
think like that next tier is probably like Hayes Carl.
Maybe I love Bob
think-
Schneider. I mean, I would throw him in. But I
Yeah,
don't know. He's not. He's so mostly Texas, I guess.
I think like Bingham is in that.
he's a good one.
Where would you throw?
Fulbright.
Dude,
John
John Moreland.
Moreland.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
John Moreland
John
is on the
Moreland,
fourth. He's the
totally.
fourth person
The
on the Mount
The
Rushmore.
fourth.
That's a good call. That
With and Lloyd McKenna, there can be 5 of them. Because she's a master. But yeah, I think all those are the like whatever you
The
call it.
Amera whatever.
Amera whatever.
Okay, so anyways, those three. This is my theory on them is that, and it ties into who you think it's most easy to be repeated. They're all great at essentially what I would call the three things, right? Songwriting, voice, and just in general like idea, like
Yeah.
theme.
Their whole thing is. But
right,
all
and-
three of them have like the comprehensive, like everything matches the physical stuff.
And I think like Isbell is probably the strongest songwriter lyric wise. Stapleton's the best vocalist wise, even though Sergio also has like a pretty good set of vocals
Sergio
on him.
has-
But
yeah,
like
they can fight.
he has like in my opinion has the best theme overall.
Right.
He pushes like a
He does
more of a
concept
theme
records,
and
that's
concept
so
more
cool
so
to
than
me. Yeah.
songs, right? And I think this like goes into like who would buy like whose next record is going to be appreciated by everyone just as much, and I think it's going to be Stapleton just because it's going to be a little bit easier to make that record versus like coming up. Not necessarily. I think it's like easy for them to come up with. Like Isbell's going to come up with
They
another
make
12
it seem
songs.
so easy that it's
yeah.
astonishing.
They're all going to make their own songs, and it's all going to be easy. But I think it's going to be harder for people to enjoy the ride with Sergio. It's harder for them to jump on board and understand what he's going on to next. And you kind of saw that with that last record.
Yeah.
Like people were going,
Well, he's only making 2 more. Y'all have heard this, right?
"No, I'm
He's
not."
only making 5, and then he's gonna communicate his message through a different form. He says he's gonna be done with music after 5 records.
Wow.
Which is crazy. And he's apparently like he's terrified every time he's on a stage.
Really?
He says that's why he looks angry and mean because he's like trying not to throw up out of fear.
Wow.
Hey, you should check out. He did the Marin one recently. And he's
Yeah.
those stories.
I guess he also did the Rogan one. The Rogan one.
The Rogan one's crazy. It's like
He's
3
a-
hours.
I know,
Talks
that's
about
what-
all the psychedelics and
This
stuff.
is not going to be 3 hours. So,
Yeah.
like I don't know if I could handle talking like for 3 hours
No.
on this, but
Although maybe. If throw Ryan Adams in there, we could talk all day.
that's what
Coffee?
he may be the other.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's kind of.
I think
in his,
he's like
he's
in
in
the-
his own world, dude.
I think he's like the generation before.
Yeah,
that
he was the
Rushmore.
generation before, and he's done something right because when he got divorced from Andy Moore in the article, like the amount of money he makes 6 figures a month. Ryan Adams, which is awesome.
Yeah.
that makes me happy for the world.
I'm halfway there. I make 3 figures.
Well, he's got such a brand.
Yeah, man, he's his own thing. Yeah, he can. He'll
I
be
think
able to
that's-
do it. I guess all those guys will be able to just do
I
it
think that's
forever.
the goal for guys like us. Like whenever when I was kind of kicking around publishing doors, they would always ask, do you want to be a writer or an artist? Which I hated that question.
It's like what? Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
It was like you weren't allowed to do both.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that was
like, that's-
strange to me too.
And I think it was because they wanted to figure out where to spend the most attention on you. And it was like my BMI rep at the time was like, I think you should pick one or the other and focus all your eggs into that basket. And I was like, okay. And so it wasn't. I didn't ever feel like I couldn't be an artist or like that I ever wasn't an artist. But I spent a lot of time trying to write songs that other people would like or record.
Right.
And then I finally gave myself like the relief of going, oh, I'm gonna go make a record again and tour. But I feel like when I was getting asked those questions, it was like I wanted to be Roy McKenna. I wanted to be Tom Douglas. I wanted to
Right.
be the writer that had the thing
And now the Chris Stapleton.
that
they
everybody
did both.
wanted to come get. and I think like Ryan Adams did a great job of that, and Sturgill and Jason and Chris Stapleton, and they're so identifiable.
Yeah.
Like Buddy Miller is
Buddy,
like, you
yeah.
could pick a guitar up on anybody's record and you know it's Buddy Miller, and it's like I want to be that. That's the goal, I think, at the end of the day.
I got to play a solo over a buddy's baritone guitar.
Did you hear about that?
Did I tell you this story?
Yeah.
At wherever City Winery with Emmylou Harris, I was playing with Cree, and I almost passed out. I was so nervous. She's like, David, I'm going to throw you a solo over Buddy's baritone guitar. And I'm just like, you're going to do what? I was like, I think Buddy should play it. She goes, no. She says, it'll sound so pretty with your acoustic. And so I was like, all right. I guess I'm a songwriter, man. I haven't played a guitar solo on a stage in probably 6 years. And that was so funny,
It
man.
sounded great.
I did not hit a bad note, which was good. I wasn't anything fancy.
You got a nod of approval though. from Amy
Buddy gave me the nod, and Emily sent it to me by name. It was the coolest
Wow.
thing that's ever
That's
happened.
pretty
to me.
awesome.
It was awesome.
Closest thing I have to that, I was riding with this a girl named Chaley Rose, who is on the show Nashville.
Okay.
And she was like, I'm going to send this to Buddy. We have a great day riding. And so we hit the iPhone recorder, and I clammed up so bad. It was like, clink, 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 clink.
Yeah,
Just don't
dude,
send that to Buddy.
He was awesome, man. He was a sweetie. That's hilarious. But yeah, I think your assessments of all three, I would say the exact same thing. I think Stapleton's the best singer. I think Stapleton's probably the best singer in the world. I mean, just not only through the tone of his voice, but the runs, the notes he can hit, and the in between notes that I don't even hear. I think
He's a freak, man.
That's so cool. And then I would lyrically, I think Isbell, and I would put Isbell and John Moreland together and as the best lyricists on the planet, like right now.
Good call.
They're
I
great.
think
then,
like
and then yeah, I think Sturgill, yeah, the whole vibe is there. I mean, he does it perfectly.
yeah. Did you guys listen to Parker Millsap's last record?
I heard I Shazammed one of his songs the other day.
That one's cool. That's all I've heard of.
I need to
That's
listen to
badass.
more of him. I just Shazammed whatever his song they play in Lightning 100 the other day, and I was like, fuck yeah, this
Yeah,
is awesome.
he has this record out. I guess it just came out 2 months ago, 3 months.
Uh-huh.
And that guy's young. He's like 22, 21.
Those people drive me
And-
crazy.
Yeah.
You know who Drew Kennedy is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Drew and me were talking about all these like Moreland and Fulbright and Millsap and all like just these Oklahoma guys who are young, and there's a Southern Gothic edge to it and a lot of like gospel tinges. And he said that he thinks like the way you make a perfect songwriter is you raise them up to be Pentecostal until they're 16 years old, just straight by the book,
Yeah.
nothing on the sides. And then when they're 16, you open the door and you throw in like a guitar, a bottle of whiskey, and a stack of Playboys, and you just say like, "All right, figure it out." Yeah, and then
Talk about a
That's great. I love that. I didn't realize they're all from
songwriter. Throw
Oklahoma.
him in there. Shit.
Yeah, Drew's great.
One of John Moreland's merch guy, last time I saw him, had a shirt on that said Tulsa as fuck.
That'd be a good Lubbock shirt.
I wonder if they may have been selling it. I wasn't paying too much. I was paying more attention to just try not to cry in front
Oh,
of
yeah.
in front of the
Was it
girl I
the
was
show
with.
here?
No, this was at Mercy Lounge.
Yeah.
He, yeah.
He's doing
He's
one at
amazing.
the Beast, dude.
Really?
Basement East. Yeah,
Cool.
it's like in it's in July.
Have you seen that show?
We got to go.
Have you seen John Moreland's show?
yeah, I was actually going to ask you guys like
Just sitting there.
here
with a
does
guitar.
he do people just silence?
Yeah.
Silence.
'Cause
He didn't
in-
say a single word in between
Yeah,
songs.
that was
Well,
like
There
the-
were some people talking at that Mercy show, but it was like it was one of those big festival days where like a bunch of people were playing, and I was just like, how could you even just make a
He,
sound during this?
I guess like some people got mad at me in Lubbock I guess maybe a year ago. He opened up for BJ Barham acoustic, and like people were talking during both sets, and so I wrote this like piece on like how the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
during these incredible sets, but also like Moreland set was 40 minutes. Like all you had to be quiet for was for
Yeah.
40 minutes or something like that, and I just don't understand how you would go to that show to talk.
I would just love to know who hurt that guy, because she fucked him up. But I've never heard like anyone waste less words than that guy.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. And then Isbell's way to like put himself in a like
It's like casting
sing,
a different role.
Yeah, like just, but it's him, but it's not him.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's just that's just brilliant, man. I think that's what we all aspire to do, but I don't think anyone does it better
He's
than
got
him.
kind of that best of both worlds too, where he's a great. I mean,
And he's a great guitar player, which is just
well, yeah. Oh no shit.
also
but
makes
I mean,
him
he
so
can
good.
He can tell just as good of a story as he can writing this like break your heart type of song. Man, that's the goal for, talking about goals. Like that's the goal for me, is having that best of both worlds. Where it's like,
make them laugh and make them cry.
that's right. And then
that's
being able
a
to-
Texas thing altogether. It seems like, man, to me, like I
is it though,
love.
or is
I
it
mean,
just a
I don't know.
songwriting thing? I mean, not to like be like.
Well, like for Guy Clark to be able to get up
That-
there
well,
and
that's
sing like stuff that works, and then Homegrown Tomatoes. You know, it's like
Or the
I
guitar- or the
love
guitar
that
or
shit.
whatever.
Like that fucking rocks to me. Like it's like it can absolutely like the mood changes are phenomenal. I love it.
It's like writing short stories.
Yeah, but I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I never got that feeling from a lot of other music besides that. The Texas songwriter, or I guess like Oklahoma now too.
Well, I think what's interesting too is what you consider a Texas songwriter is probably really different what people in Texas consider. A
Oh,
Texas
probably so. I'm
songwriter.
thinking about
Well, I
guy
mean,
in
like,
town.
Right, then
Yeah.
that's how I look at it
Folk
too.
in general, like if you listen to somebody like Slade Cleaves,
Yeah.
he's from
Totally.
Or is he from Maine?
Yeah,
but he's like
that's
brilliant
true.
too. It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like he's awesome.
Yeah, I
Songwriter,
just probably
storyteller.
incorrectly group like
No,
even if they're
no.
not
No,
from
that's-
Texas, like into like that thing, like that. And when I say that Texas thing, I mean it's a compliment.
Slade lives in Austin now. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, does he really? Yeah, no.
I mean, what you consider the Texas thing, I think, is really different. And I consider that like I think we look at it the same thing. Whereas if you ask somebody else what Texas music is,
Yeah.
you'll get a topical answer of what's current in Texas
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
Sure.
it's
Oh,
one of those
yeah,
things
that
where
makes
like
sense, yeah.
if you're everyone has their own definition of whatever, and if you're with friends who they share that definition, it's fine. But then
Right.
like you hear that one guy who's probably listening to this who's gonna be like, Casey Donahue, he's one of those Texas songwriters in
Yeah.
that same group, or whatever
That's the point.
that guy.
It wasn't like Pat. I read this article the other day because I loved Pat Green in college, man, and I listened to that 3 Days record recently, and it's so fucking good. And
Yeah.
it's so Nashville to me. Like listening to it now, like that's a country, that's a produced record. Like it's so, and I was like, I bet this record got shit on in Texas. So I
It was,
looked up this article, and it was
wasn't it-
talking about exactly that. The 3 Days.
No. I think that's like isn't that Lloyd Baines
Yeah,
produced?
it's Lloyd.
I'm not sure who it was, but there was this great. It was like one of those like Wall Street Journal articles about the whole. I don't know how the new generation, how the old generation was like hating on the new generation of like Pat and Corey.
Sure.
all
Man,
that
that thing
stuff.
it was a real interesting.
Was that weird to be around?
I wasn't as close
Yeah.
to it. I was a little younger, and I was in college, and so I was.
That's kind of fascinating to me. Like
It
this,
was.
like
It was. I mean, when they got they basically sold like 100,000 records
Yeah.
before they had a record deal, and so it was like they had to have a way to distribute the records. So they signed a record deal, and then the first rattle out of the gate was Wave on Wave, and it was a huge single. Like that was like
Right.
it went certified
yeah,
gold,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like was. And then the second follow up, I don't think got as much love from the record label or whatever, and I don't know if they spent enough time with songs or picking, or I don't know. I wasn't around it, but or how that even works. But I remember reading some of the press, and it was gnarly.
yeah, big
Like
time.
because I feel like it was gnarly because it was the kind of the leader of this trend, and Jack Ingram was in the same place, and I looked up to I still look up to those guys a
Yeah.
lot. They're great.
Well, that first class, if you will, of
Sure.
like the Texas country guys,
Right.
that bridged the gap between now and like Robert O'Keefe and
Right.
like Jerry Jeff Walker.
Sure.
So like I think that's why a lot of people, like your parents, listen to
That's true.
Robert
They
O'Keefe
were-
and Jerry Jeff
yeah.
Walker and Gary P. Nunn,
And
and
just-
then like then you
Yeah, you got
like the next
sorry.
people jumped in, and were listening to Pat Green and
Right.
Ingram and
I mean, and
Morrow
not
and-
to knock that at all, because I mean, at the time, it was
I think it was-
that was a great. It was we needed it.
It was
you know?
real
like
fresh.
A party. Like it was
love that
something
stuff, man. That
people
stuff's
could
huge.
get behind, and now, even now, like I don't think the music they're making is bad. I feel like that they got to a place where they wanted to expand what they were doing, and caught a lot of backlash on trying to do that, and it was unfortunate.
Yeah, that's just, I don't know. That's some like, I see, just growing up, I didn't grow up in that whole like Texas songwriting world, and like the fact that like people would think their songs like that they were like disrespecting, you know, this like tradition. That's just pretty awesome, I guess. Like it is, like, I don't know. I've always been fascinated by that.
We're-
Like in the article I read, there was quotes from like some of the old cats who like just fucking hated it, like hated the new stuff, you know. And like some of the guys were defending them, and it was like, man, Texas takes their shit seriously, and I respect that.
But it's interesting to watch some of those fans like it.
It's like, get over it, man.
Well, they'll freak
to
out.
me,
They'll freak out so much over something that's on the radio, and then go to a show it's equally as bad or not worse
Right.
on like a cheaper level. It's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
at least they had the money to record or use auto-tune or something, you know, like
Yeah.
with the record. Like this shit you're listening to, and I mean, and not all of it's bad in Texas, but like some of it is really bad.
But what it is like nobody wants to admit that there's like a top layer of filth like on just any genre.
Sure.
Like there's not a clean genre out there.
That's
And
right.
there's-
And unfortunately, living here, for most people outside of Nashville, all you hear is that top layer.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of the shitty thing. It's, you know, you and I had spoke, I guess a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about the kind of the topic of this, and that's like, it just goes back to that first conversation. There's so much talent here, but unless you're here, a lot of times, unless you see it or seek it out, you're only hearing that top layer of filth. And that's not saying not saying that good songs, you know, don't get cut, or bad songs are only songs that get cut, because there are some really great songs that are getting cut, but you're not really hearing them. You know, you have to dig on those records sometimes. But you're only really hearing that top filth sometimes, and that's kind of the shit.
going back to what you were saying, I know we were off this, but it just sparked a thought, and you saying that, and like the talent and all that stuff, and who's going to be replicated, like who's next on this. I just think that like the whole, like the real shit is hard to fake. You know, it's like, you know, it's like I went to a show recently, and it was like it was like someone who had been a country singer, you know, like a successful one, and like now it's like they're gonna do like the whatever Americana thing, and it just didn't work for me, because it was like that's not their thing. Like,
Right.
and I believe that a lot of the music that people and a lot of people that, you know, in our world shit on a lot, like the super pop truck, you know, whatever it is. The reason that works is because those people believe that. Like, I believe that Florida Georgia Line thinks Cruise is the shit, and that's why it works. Like, so like I think and I'm just gonna say it's just gonna be harder to do. It's harder. It's
Yeah.
just gonna hard thing to replicate.
Well,
I guess.
and when I first started taking meetings, I was talking with my rep at ASCAP, and it was that conversation. The guys, you know, not to mention any names, but the guys that are writing, you know, those are mainly the guy that's been writing those pop country smashes. He's been writing these songs for the last 15 years, and then that door finally swung his way to where it's not like, you know, he sat down with the computer and was like, okay, what are people really liking right now, you know, and built, you know, that's his craft. Like,
He had
he's
a
been
catalog
writing that
of them?
song for however long, and he got, hopefully, like we all do at one point, hopefully we get lucky as shit, because he got lucky as shit. He's been, you know, if he's been writing that type of song for the last 15 years, I mean, that goes to that conversation. He believes what he's writing. It's not, you know,
Exactly.
I don't think between the four of us, we're probably not going to buy those records.
Well-
but he believes them enough to write.
No,
those.
and a lot of the shit, like a shitload of people believe it too. I mean,
Well, that's right.
why it makes money,
But
you know.
it's like you.
And good for them. Let them be happy and listen to it. Like, I just don't. We don't have to.
Well,
you know?
it's like, so he writes that song for that's his style, that's his thing, that whole Georgia thing, or whatever it is. Been writing that song for forever, and then, Match Sparks, and these songs get huge, and then it does turn into like, okay, this is really, really successful, and it does become this kind of situation where songwriters are pandering to what's successful, and then I think that's where you see it. But like,
well,
I don't know.
I feel like I get that question a lot from people in Texas, like, why don't you just go write one truck song and then you can kind of do whatever you want? It's like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you've got X amount of energy that you can invest in what you do every day, like creatively, physically. And so those guys, I guarantee you, they're not sitting down every day or once a week going, well, let's try to write a Guy Clark song.
Yeah,
and they might,
exactly.
but I don't think they're going to think anything's going to happen with it.
Right.
Whereas, like, I'm not going to go stumble into
It's
their
a waste
world
of your
of
time. It's
writing
just a waste
truck
of your
songs.
Right.
time and energy.
And it would be a waste of publishing money or whoever would be paying me to do that. I think you can only do what you do, and like you said, if that trend comes back around, then that's good on you.
Consider yourself blessed.
Do you think that those little movements, if you will, since we're like in a digital age, people's, I guess their attention spans are shorter now. Do you think those little movements are going to be turned over quicker?
Yes.
Where it's just like bam, like onto.
Man, it's fast listeners nowadays. I mean, and partly because there's so much damn music out there, and that's awesome and really shitty at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows, like, nobody's listening to albums the same way they were even 10 years ago. Like, it's like shit, man. It's like we almost live in a singles market here, and which is kind of a weird thing if you're one of the three of us and 3 out of however many friends that are doing they're trying to do the same thing here. It's like, man, why don't you just release singles? It's like, well, I don't want to release
Because I want to make records.
I want to make a record. I want to make records.
I still think that like people buy records and they want that.
Not many.
Not you?
Not many people do.
Oh no, not me. Okay,
No,
I thought you said okay. No, I get like the people are buying singles off iTunes, that kind of thing. But I still think that there's.
I think more people are listening to records now. I'm gonna do. Yeah, I think Spotify.
Well, I think
makes
because
it makes me listen to it. I mean, like the streaming thing is like making more people. I don't know. That's kind of that flip side of the argument to the streaming is that it really does make your music so accessible and listenable to, and like
well, people are buying albums now, like vinyl.
Yeah, and they're buying vinyl.
And that's I think that makes people listen to
But
like just because of the work, Like
I mean, I don't say now compared to like 15 years ago, but just compared to like in that initial like.
I feel like shit's
phase.
about to get real interesting with just how the structure of the business is.
Well,
like,
the money's going away.
There's zero
There's no
money
money.
coming in with streaming, so you're going to see publishing companies tanking
Bottom
right and
falling
left,
out.
but you're also going to see staff writers. I feel like
Gone.
either gone
Or having to go play.
or putting out records.
there's a lot of records.
And
That's
trying,
what's gonna
and
happen.
trying to come out and hit the road.
You have to.
And I hear that a lot. Like, it's like, oh, I can just go do what Randy and Wade do. And it's like, no, dude, those dudes put 15 years of
Dude,
fucking-
writers are,
ass
and like
Exactly.
that's also in that writer-artist argument. Like you are a writer and an artist, but there's a lot of people in town that are just writers. Like,
Sure.
and like and like if
Oh, it blew-
that's who I feel like. Okay, so I heard the other day someone I knew got a #1 song. It was a 3-way write. He thinks he'll clear like 80 grand on it. That's it
On a #1?
on a #1.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not even have any.
Jesus.
Listen.
Perception
So
of
that
what
used
that
to
would
like
what
that
does that
used to
mean? Like, yeah.
Pills
80 would still be more.
pulled
plenty
70
above
grand. He said when he got his first top 10 in 2009, he made $1 million.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's how much less money is in this pool, and that's why I think trends are going to just keep changing because they're just going to keep fishing for stuff to make money.
Sure.
Because
Yeah,
there's
I feel
just
like that's the guys that are gonna win, or at least be around in the next couple of years, are gonna be like your Will Hogues or your, your dudes who have the brand and
Yeah.
have the thing that they can.
they've already
knock those
established.
songwriters, like on Music Row, 'cause they're-
Not at all, dude. That's a huge skill, but it's a completely separate thing having to get up on a stage and sing for people. And so that's what because eventually how long can publishing companies keep paying people $30,000 a year draws that never get recouped?
Sure.
You know, so it'll probably end up being like 2 people writing every song.
I mean, I don't think that it's not going. I don't think it's going to go away. Publishing deals won't go away. They've been here.
There'll be somebody will privately fund something. There's always a dude with a fucking ton of money.
That's true too.
But
that's true. But what's the incentive?
It's
now?
gonna shrink.
To get if a
it's
number
gonna-
one song's only worth, you know, whatever that is, like
Yeah.
Well, it's
what used to be worth $1 million is worth $500,000 or whatever it is. It's just
or substantially
less.
less. It's crazy how short. I remember like when I first moved here, it's like holy shit. You have that realization after taking like a couple of meetings that you're like, there's like people. This could be your job to make, you know, to live off of this much, which isn't a lot, you know, but it's enough to live off of for a year without even getting a cut. And then like so many writers, and then just all of a sudden with Spotify and different streaming platforms, it's like you say, it's about to change substantially. It just seemed like it was on such this steady incline, all of a sudden peak, and then what the hell's about to happen?
it's the
weird.
classic the haves versus the have-nots, and the haves are going to win. Like the record labels got screwed by Napster, but they saw it. They knew exactly where it was going, so they own They own Spotify. They're in with Apple Music, so like they're the ones not paying their people, not paying the writers. And what I think, I had a conversation about this the other day, and y'all might agree with me. If Spotify should have came out, they should have figured out how they're going to pay writers fairly, and they should have charged like $50 a month. Because I think people would have paid it. At the time, can you imagine if someone told you, you can listen to everything? I mean, now it's like given, we pay $10 a month. Or like, I think people would have paid more money. I think they undersold it.
They were like bargaining against themselves, essentially. You know?
Because
or
I mean, you
brokering, I
just
guess.
opened up the door to listen to everything in the world, all the time.
I don't
Like,
think people understand though, like
or
understand that concept
and make it
enough,
and
yeah.
no, you know, and then you charge the average amount that people spend on records a month.
Well,
and that, what was that?
I
Probably
think, like,
maybe like $25.
I
you
bet
know?
like people honestly would have paid at least 25.
Yeah, I
30
think
bucks,
25, 30
because
$50 is a lot.
think
But I
about
would think 25,
like
30.
how much do people pay for internet or for cable
So much,
or
dude.
just
Yeah.
anything
For
that's
your,
like
you
a
pay for
Well,
music.
and that's
your music bill.
It's
you know?
kind of a different conversation too, and that's a really good point. It's how you frame that too. It's like you pay this much for internet, and you get access to everything that you could ever want to look up
Yeah.
in your laptop.
Or like your phone
You
bill,
pay
whatever,
for
yeah.
this bill, and you get every piece of music that you could ever think of. You know, like you think of it as a service. And I don't know if I think just the way people think about Spotify, it's like as a music lover, yeah, you'd pay $20, $30 a month, but I don't think the everyday guy that's driving to and from work listening to the radio would pay that.
well, like that's my
I mean, I don't know
my
if that
dad
guy
was
has
that way.
Spotify anyway.
Well, like people pay for, I guess like XM's still kind of cheap though too.
Yeah.
I mean, on demand.
Or Sirius or whatever.
I just think we're so used to it now. But back in the day, if I would have heard that on demand music all the time, I would have paid anything.
Yeah.
You know, especially like knowing I still do it. I feel terrible about it, but it's awesome. And if I love a record, I buy it. It's like, but it's just crazy. I don't know. It's too late now. Whatever. I don't know what's going to happen. We're all going to be broke. Is what's going to happen.
We'll figure it
No,
out.
we'll survive, man.
I'm broke right
I feel
now,
like-
man.
If you can go out and sing and play and write, you know, songs that people like,
Well,
you'll always be able to
I
do it.
almost feel like we're in a time where, like, finding the ways to make money or be a quote unquote professional musician are coming from things like Kickstarter, where like you're getting paid your money up front to do your record through your fans,
Yeah.
which there's an argument on that, like your perceived kind of like value, or if you look like you're begging or whatever. But I mean, if you look back on like artists in like other eras, like you know, people paid them money to go live and create. Like benefactors did that.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And it's
That's
like,
how you survive.
We're not. I feel like over time, like things change, and we're all gonna figure out a way to do it. Maybe right now, that is the way
Maybe.
that you can actually sustain as a musician.
Yeah, that's a
Like,
big
you-
way. I mean, I heard the argument, you know, that people are like, I don't want to take money from my fans. And it's like, their fans are the people that make you all of your money.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's not. I don't. I don't know.
I think what's more importantly on that though is I mean, this is a completely different conversation all its own, but having a really strong incentive program with your Kickstarter campaign that's important. Where it's like, no,
If I did a Kickstarter, I wouldn't do any incentives.
You wouldn't?
I would just be like, I need to make a record. I don't know.
I'll
That
buy
things
you a
get
beer
so
if
crazy.
you're-
I think that's it. Then it's like it's just guilt free. It's like I bet you'd still get it. That would be my test.
I feel like one of the big things for Kickstarter is that you've had to have. What really makes a
As long
difference
as you
is
get people
if
to
you've
go.
made a record before. I think a lot more people are going to give you money.
That helps for sure.
You know, it really can't be like your first record.
Oh,
that
really?
you're-
Just like it's proven. that-
I would think.
Well,
that would
I don't
be
know.
proven.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's the case because
Yeah.
anything
It's
I've seen that's really just been, and granted, all these people who have, I'm saying this about, they're great artists.
Yeah.
You know, they've made great records, but I think there's like that track record of that they've had an album.
They know they're
They've
gonna
probably
they know they're gonna
and
deliver.
they've made a record before on their own.
Yeah.
And
Well,
at least like I guess
that's a good point.
they've
That's true. I was thinking about doing a Kickstarter.
they put like the work in, I guess,
Are you
before.
doing one? See, I was thinking about it, and I just was not going to do it.
Yeah, but like you guys have made records
I
before.
think the difference is, I mean, that's totally right. It's like, okay,
Try
is
the
this
no incentive program. I'm serious. Just make a funny video.
you do it.
I know. I don't
Me
need
and
to-
Ben had a good idea for a funny video. We can talk about that. But
You just get a CD when it comes out.
it's like, okay, hello, my name's Thomas Mooney. And I'm gonna put out a record on, I need your help, Kickstarter. And it's like people are wanting to see this. I don't think whether you're serious. It's not a question whether or not you're serious about putting out a record, but it kind of is. It's like, is this going to be like a hobby type of thing? Is you want to do that? Like, what's the
It's also way
what's the
harder.
final goal?
Oh, sorry.
And then compared to somebody that, like you say, that has put out a record before, it's like, well, this is they've put out however many records they've been doing this the last 10 years. Like this is, they're not going to put out this record and nothing's going to come from it.
Yeah. Well, like if you look at the last I don't think I don't know if American Aquarium did a Kickstarter for the last one or a pledge or something like that, but BJ Barnum did one for his new acoustic record coming out, and that thing was like pledged like it was funded in like a few weeks, and
I don't think I have enough fans.
yeah. He showed me that. I don't know if you guys saw his video for his Drew
Yeah.
Kennedy's, which was like he counted everything,
Yeah.
and we had done a podcast like the day before that thing was launched, and it was like blah blah miles, blah blah shows, this many guitar strings changed, and he was like, all those numbers are accurate except for the guitar strings, and I was like, that would have been amazing if like you would have kept up with that number as well, but like he had like probably like 8 numbers that were accurate numbers
Yeah.
since his last record, and that was a good little way to hook people in, you
Yeah,
know.
that's it. It's just getting people to go to your Kickstarter page because there's so many of them now that it's all about just getting them to it. It's harder to make the money these days, I'm hearing. But I'm sure if you got a bunch of baller fans like Ross Cooper, it'll be easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now you're part of the Ringling Road. People looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me and you both know that's bullshit. We wrote it was a fun song. I mean, it was
No,
just
but I honestly think that in Texas that it changed what you can present to Texas country radio.
Well-
as far as like
This is your boy.
well,
Yeah.
like
Hardcore.
it kind of changed the way like what you could present to Texas radio that could be played. Now I'm not saying like people are going to put out like another circus kind of
Right.
song, but like that it's outside the box of heartbroke, party song,
Did it do
drinking
well?
song kind of.
I think it did pretty well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Will had the idea, and he called me, and then, I know he's told you, like, it was 3 people sitting in a room and saying, this is a kind of a cool topic, or we think it's cool.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to like this? Fuck, who cares? A.
Yeah.
And B, after, like, Will said it before, but after we got done, we were like, it was a pretty quick write, and it was just Lions. It was a great ride, and I mean, not saying like it's a great song, but it was a great ride in that everybody was on the same page. Sometimes in three-way rides, it could be 6 grueling hours and not get a song.
Yeah.
That's exactly how threesomes go sometimes. 6 hours, no song.
But at the end of it, we were all just like, what the hell is this? We didn't know what it was. And then I know Will battled with it in the studio, and it was like a problem child.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we had joked about it. We're like, that song will never get played on radio. He's like, well, shit, dude, we're pushing it as our fucking third single. And then all of a sudden, it was like,
Yeah.
it was just, it was writing a song with a friend who, there's a mutual respect, 2 friends that you all have mutual respect, and that was the result of it. It would be no different than any, no different from a co-write if we all sat down and wrote one right now. I never thought it would go
hear
to
this
radio.
song.
You've heard it.
I've never heard you get so defensive about a song.
No, it's just like, it was, I think there was, the point that I'm trying to make is there was no expectation
Yeah.
of that song. And then it became this thing, and I didn't know it had become this thing. And I'd come back to Lubbock, like, during Christmas, and I called 6, and I just jumped on a show opening, and I was like, wrote this song with 2 of my buddies, Randall Clay and Wim Clark Green, and I played it, and it was like the crowd just like that wasn't paying attention turned around, and then they were singing the La Da Dadas, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? And that was the first kind of eye opener. Is like it kind of did change, and I've heard it was cool. It was cool to be part of it, but I didn't think it would. I never thought it'd be on radio first place. So
Yeah. Well, it almost didn't make the record,
that's right.
So
that's right.
it was,
And
which is
Rachel didn't really like it. I don't think when they first brought it in, they just couldn't figure it out. But Will liked it enough. He wanted that to be the Eastland
theme,
concept,
kinda,
the theme of his record, and so he fought for it. And I love how it turned out. It was cool.
yeah. I don't know. I think like in the next, I'm not really paying attention to those top songs that are played on Texas Country on the chart or whatever, but I think like it's gonna have a lasting impact on like what's played. Like I wouldn't be surprised if people were gonna put out songs that are outside that heartbroken, fallen in love, party song kind of what's typically like your singles. I would not be surprised if I'm trying to think of a song, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head being I don't know.
You're a trendsetter.
That's
Real pioneer.
a real pioneer. No.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ross
Well,
Cooper
you got all
loves
that. You have all that Lubbock music
up?
cred now.
Which is funny.
Okay, let me ask. I've asked everyone from Lubbock about
Sure.
this, but like, what is like Lubbock obviously is blooming at the moment
Yeah.
in Texas.
Good time.
What is that like outside that bubble?
I've always said it, and I've always said how proud I am to be from Lubbock because I was kind of like here and there, you know what I mean? Like I was at South Plains for a year, and then I went to A&M, but I was always back in Lubbock. I was living in Lubbock and gigging out of Lubbock every summer, but right before I moved here, I just always felt like the little brother, because it was Will and it was BA. It was all these guys and Thrift Store was still going. Like,
Yeah.
It was these guys that have 5 to 10, 5 years on me or whatever, and I just was trying to I thought their music was badass, and I was trying to write something that was that cool. I think it's so weird. Everybody's had the conversation, but there's something in the water or something. It's like there's this inherent musical history that's been there, whether you want to trace it back to, Buddy Holly or Joe Ely or, Stubbs kind of being there and
Yeah.
bringing all those kind of songwritery.
Like Terry
guys to the
Allen
fore.
and-
Terry Allen, that's right. But there's never been like, I think, if you want to talk about peaks and valleys, there's never really been a valley in Lubbock music. There's always been good talent consistently coming out of Lubbock. I still think that Kenneth O'Meara is one of the best songwriters around. Like, I would, there's just those guys that are out there. It'd be awesome to see, like, Kenneth's song, like, get, like, a huge, see Kenneth get, like, a huge cut. And I don't see that going away in Lubbock. There's just something about it, man. I'm proud as shit to be from there. I'd talk up Lubbock any chance I get.
Yeah.
I think that we have our own little island that's separated from like kind of the rest of what's going on in the Texas music scene or the music scene or whatever. It's like you talk about that whole Southern Gothic thing and going on in Oklahoma. It's like Lubbock has its own thing too, and it's always kind of had that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a soundscape about where we're from. You talk about that. Like, look at the thrift store records; they sound like West Texas, and there's little bits of that, and I think a lot of people's riding.
Yeah,
it's cool, man. I love Lubbock so much.
Do you guys think you? Oh, not to cut. Go ahead.
No, I hated it in high school.
Yeah.
But, and then
everyone hates where they live in high school.
Yeah.
It's like across the board.
And then like it took like kind of getting away and seeing it. And it was like, no, Lubbock's like, fuck yeah, Lubbock, man.
You should totally get that and do that Lubbock as fuck shirt.
Lubbock as fuck.
Cool. But it's cool, like the kind of the street cred that's like. When you go somewhere else in Texas, it's like, oh, shit, the Lubbock Cats, man. There's some cool stuff coming out of Lubbock. And it's always, it's cool that I think Lubbock's pretty well respected musically.
Yeah. Someone the other day was asking me, like, or made the comment that, like, the Lubbock songwriter, the Lubbock music scene was, like, real tight-knit in a, not necessarily even in a we're all friends way, but, like, in a, it's hard to get in there to be part of
trust
that.
Outsiders.
Yeah, and it's like, well, I really never really thought about it that way.
I haven't either.
I've heard that about Texas my whole life. About just like that was one of the reasons I moved to Nashville. It's like Texas is tough if you're not from Texas. They like it when you visit. I don't know. That was the reputation it had.
Yeah, like when I was coming up, there was guys like Adam Hood. And
Yeah.
Well, now American Aquarium, they're from North Carolina. They're kicking ass.
Oh, I love Sean McConnell.
They would come in and destroy it.
His
they ate it up.
That's cool.
But like you said,
But did they stay? That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't like you. They didn't want you to stay. They didn't want you to live there. That was the whole thing.
I think all of them could have lived there. But
anyway,
this
is just what I've heard.
I don't know. Like
I mean,
back to that argument.
This was like 10 years ago.
They were just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Like that it was hard to ignore it. Yeah.
Do you guys think you sound like where you're from? Is there any like?
No. I mean, I grew up in a small town northeast of Houston, and I mean, yes and no. Like I try to be as Guy Clark as I can.
I think we all do.
And he's from Texas, and Rodney Crowell is from right kind of around the town that I grew up in. But I mean, yeah, I think there's parts of who you are that you can't ignore. But like, I don't know. I mean, when I got to college, I listened to everything, and it was like that was the real awakening, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess like the '70s in around Houston was a big.
Yeah.
Like that was the.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
With Crowell and Clark and.
J. Jeff.
Towns. I guess like Steve Rowe was around there too a little bit.
He was like young. That was when he was like following Towns around to like his shows.
Yeah, those Heart One Highway videos are really cool.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, my dad was a songwriter. He kind of like ended up in Houston, and I think that was cool for him whenever he was my age. But as he got older and wanted to pitch songs or be, I guess, the songwriter who had success, it was really hard to do that from Houston because I guess there wasn't much of a scene there. But,
that's interesting.
But yeah.
What was Louisiana like? Where are you from? I've asked you so many times before, but usually we are really hungover.
I'm from, like I am now. I'm from.
By the way, David Borné had a Cedar Lee show last night, so go look up David Borné. B-O-R-N-E.
Accent on the A.
What did the bartender tell me? What the bartender said when you walked in?
I walk. So we're doing this fine podcast from Third and Lindsley today, the club in Nashville where Ben works. Historic club, one of the first places I came when I moved here. And so I've known had a good friend that used to work here named Brandy Cheney. And so I've known all these people a long time. And I walked in, I hadn't seen Amanda in probably 2 years, Mandy. And she goes, this is a radio thing. It's not like film, so you don't have to look good. So that's the day we're having. But yeah, I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge is like a little college town where LSU is.
But is there a good scene? Is there a good scene there?
Not really. It's just doesn't. Baton Rouge never really had the most like super character. It's kind of like the mutt Louisiana town. I love my city, but I love the LSU Tigers and I love my family. But so my parents were from like the bayou towns of Thibodaux and Houma. So that's like, because I think a lot of people, because I'm from down there, they hear Louisiana in my music, but nothing's ever been like an intentional thing. Like, I mean, we got like the horn stuff, and people are like, your voice has that Louisiana swampy soul, and I'm like, all right, cool, I like hearing it, but it's never been
like wants you to be Mark Broussard.
Yeah, you see, that was, I've never been, I love Mark Broussard, and I love, I mean, a lot of my chops, I didn't have super many chops before I came to Nashville. I learned the most here, because you have to. And, but back in the day, I was like 20 playing on Bourbon Street a lot, and so that was pretty cool, man. We would go down there and play literally as long as the manager wanted you to. Yeah, it was like if there was a crowd, he would just keep paying you to play. Like we'd play like 8 hour, like we would take breaks and we would just stay like all day, and it was like incredible cash. That's awesome.
There's some,
but all that, dude. New Orleans is just there's so many horns everywhere.
Louisiana has such a badass scene though.
Oh, overall, the whole state is great, and there's great clubs.
Yeah, dude, that guy's.
Andrew Duhon is a
know
great
who that is?
you'll love this. He's a great songwriter. He's from Louisiana, and he was coming up around the same time as me, but he was like superbly better. Like, he was this good when we were like kids, really? Man. He was just playing open mic nights and crushing it. And he's doing really well, man. I know he's done Bonnaroo.
The Moorings record, I guess, got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, the Moorings. Well, because is it Tristan? No, not Tristan. What's her name? The girl that engineered it, produced it. She does like a bunch of Sheryl Crow records, and I'm blacking out on the name. But yeah, anyway, from the hometown thing, yeah, Louisiana and like New Orleans is more of an influence.
That's my favorite band in middle school.
Dude, I love Better Nezra. I got
Desperately Wanting.
I played this time of year with Better Nezra on the guitar when I was a freshman in college at LSU. Like they pulled someone out from the crowd. I was my tallest friend. I was like, I know it. And he was like, this guy knows it. And so I went up and played it. It was awesome. That was the first time I felt like a rock star. Varsity Theater.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was just everything was just very slow for me. Like I was a slow developer in like the music. I mean, I started playing, gigging when I was 18. I mean, I had my first band when I was 16. I guess the usual story, but I wasn't very good. It took me to be like 27 before I really got it together. I wasn't writing good songs.
I wonder how many hours you put in. Like when I first moved here, when we first met, even before we first started writing.
Right.
There's no telling how many hours.
I don't really remember how we met. Yeah, this Midtown. I think you played at a whiskey jam, and I ran sound for it too.
That's right.
And that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then we liked the same girl at the same time, but then she dated you.
I didn't know that. That's actually.
I didn't know that either at the time. I mean, I knew it once y'all started dating, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet. I love Ross Cooper. That'll work. I'm okay with this. And now y'all been together. What? That was almost 2 years.
No. Actually, it has been 2 years. It was 2 years last week.
That's interesting.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too. It's one of those towns.
One of those towns.
Nothing ever happened. I just liked her.
That's funny.
Okay, so we've gone over an hour. You guys good, or you guys? I'm fine with talking more.
Chat a little more.
I don't know if you guys.
What time is it?
4:40.
Yeah, we could do.
Okay.
Get another solid combo.
All right. So something I was wanting to go back on because we had
Can
kind
we
of.
get some more coffee?
You guys want to take a break?
Can we do a $5?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
What's your word?
You got to go.
I'm cool till probably 5:45.
Oh shit. And like, I don't know, is that cheesy to do? To like just do it, do the same thing, make it a full length.
With the same songs?
I've seen people do
Just
it.
add to it?
Adds like 7 songs to it, and like releases an LP as well.
We were talking about that, 2 nights ago, about people doing that.
I know a lot of they do it all the time, but I always thought it was kind of weird. But I mean, I guess it's
changed
smart,
so
and everything's
Do whatever
changed.
the fuck you want to. I was telling Ben last night.
There are no rules. That's why I flew on a red flying carpet on my CD cover.
I've been meaning to ask you about that, and I always forget. I'm like, why?
Why not?
Why not? So it'd be
It
funny
was
if
like,
you-
I'm spending the money on this shit. I might as well have fun and smile.
Yeah,
That was kind of the whole thing. Did not just like
be
you
lied
know,
about it.
not take yourself too seriously,
Right.
and and
You
that's all.
accomplished that.
Obviously.
If I had to
But then
do it
hopefully,
again-
like, because I think I'm glad that it ended up coming out like, like I'm proud of it how it came out. I never
Yeah.
expected it to be really.
sounds great.
I didn't know it was going to be good.
Do you have any
basically.
with you? You get Thomas one.
Yeah, I'll give him one. But we can get back to talking for real in a second.
I was telling it'd be interesting. I think if there's any time to do it, you could do it like nowadays. But every record you release is self-titled. Every record that you release is David Borné.
Like Led
It's
Zeppelin
confusing.
style.
Why does it get?
Oh, like I
Differentiating
mean,
one
like
from the other.
Metallica's done that, right? They've
Oh,
like,
have they?
Or no, I don't know. Or Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
Like technically
Led
those
Zeppelin
albums.
1, Led Zeppelin
But are
2,
they
Led
even
Zeppelin.
really? Yeah, I guess they are. Some band did it. Where
I think they're like,
who?
I guess Led Zeppelin goes 1 or self-titled 2, 3,
Right.
4, but
you have to number them, right?
I do think they're. Oh, I know who did it was Peter Gabriel. He went Peter Gabriel, Peter Gabriel, Peter Gabriel, but they're all called. I guess he did 4 of them, but they're all called kind of whatever was on the cover.
There are worse people
There-
to
there's-
imitate than Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, I
If you're
like
gonna
Peter
steal,
Gabriel.
don't steal from Walmart.
But all those records, I guess, like people just call them what's ever on the. They all have like proper titles or like nickname titles, I guess. Like I think like one's called like Nails, like Blue Car or something like that.
Or like
Just because like one of them has
I had
nails.
no idea
like,
about any of
the
this.
Nails
Since
album,
Peter
or like
Gabriel's
the
weird album
the
titles.
Black album from Metallica is the one you're talking about. It just said Metallica, it didn't have a name. It was just
Yeah.
the Black album.
Or the White Album.
The
from
White
the
album.
Beatles.
Or the Gray album. This is over y'all's head.
Who has a Gray album?
It was
Danger
when
Mouse.
Danger Mouse. Yeah, it was the White album, and then it was the Beatles, and what was the Black album?
Metallica.
No.
no, I don't know if he was it a record. I thought he just made beats with it. Or was it Jay Z?
Oh, he did
Jay Z.
songs.
There you go, okay.
Jay-Z, and it was
Yeah.
Danger Mouse, the Gray album.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about any of that.
yeah. Okay, so I threw this question to you.
I haven't thought about
but
it.
I'm gonna have to put it at least on record now. Is what's that record that took you a while to digest? That first time you were just like, I do not understand this. I need to listen to it. And now you're like, one of my favorite records or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anything like that?
I'll go first. When I was in college, that Teddy Thompson put out a record called "Separate Ways," and for a lot of it was a lot of like dark themes in it. It was like kind of a breakup record, but it wasn't until I went through said breakup that I like really dug into every song and every like ounce of reverb that they put on every bit of the production. That I don't know, for whatever reason I just kept spinning it and spinning it and spinning it, and it was like it's like one of my favorite records of all time now. Like, I don't know what took me so long to get around it. It was a little weird. Like they had a single out on KNBT, and Matson Rayner was spinning. That was like up tempo, but a lot of it was just kind of just dark gothic-y, kind of like country songs that like. I don't know, if you get a chance, I'd recommend checking it out. But that's all I got on that one.
What you got one?
Yeah. I was 19 or 20, and it was Dirty South by Drive-By Truckers, which is now, as far as a conceptual like storytelling album,
That's
it
a
is
grower.
my
Yeah.
favorite album that probably have like period bar none. But I remember it changed the way kind of I listened. You have to give that album an honest listen, and I love listening to that album front to back. But I remember like I'm really bad about this, or I used to be really bad about this. But buying an album, buying a CD, and putting it in my car, and like if you have to, let's say you're going from Ralph's back to your house or whatever, and it's like you have 10 minutes, like shit. So you go through like the first 15 seconds to just kind of hear everything. I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. This is weird, whatever. And it sat for like couple weeks, and then when I finally dug into it, I was like, holy shit, like, this is awesome. Tornadoes on that album, I think, was the one that, it's so good. That was the one, that album for sure. It's one of the very few that I still go back and listen to in its entirety. It's like reading a book, man. There's so many good stories. Each song's like a damn chapter. And, like, Sands of Iwo Jima is on that album. Cottonseed, like Tornadoes, like I love that album. That was one.
Yeah.
I'll do a recent example for you Texas fellas. But mine was a discovery that I guess y'all have known about a long time, but I just discovered like a year ago, which was Waylon Payne.
Oh yeah.
The Drifter record. And I don't know, like when I got it, I listened to it, and I kind of I thought Her was really cool. I guess it was a mood thing, and I flipped through some other songs. I was like, this is cool, man. And I don't know, like that. I guess then it was like months I didn't listen to it, and then the next time I just, it popped up. I had it on my iPhone, or in my iTunes. So I was like, I'll give this another shot. One of those airplane rides where you didn't have service, So I got to listen to what I got on here. And holy shit, man, that's just such a great record. And it's just like it seems like it could come out. It came out in like 2004 or something, but it could come out today and be like.
Sure.
It would be a smash, and it's so relevant for like right now, and Keith Gaddis did it. He lives over in East Nashville, and he's super badass in his own right. That was it for me. That's
it's funny how sometimes you can almost will a record into being good.
Yeah.
Like it's not to say that like every record that's bad you can do that with.
Right.
Like, but there are instances where. Like a lot of people be slamming a record and you're like, but you just keep listening to it and listen to it and listen to it until it finally is like, maybe you just got there mentally with the artist or.
Yeah, I met a Modern was like that for me too, man. When Sturgill came out, I saw him open for Jason Isbell at Mercy Lounge in like November of, this was like 2013, I guess. And I just like saw him play, and I'd heard about the record. I think was just coming out. And I was like, all right, this is cool, man. Like it was like he hadn't realized he was just the shit yet, almost, And then I saw him open it for him again. I tried to listen to the record, and I was like, I don't get it. I can't understand a word he says. Like that was my whole thing. I was like, I can't understand the words. And then I saw him again open for Isbell at the Ryman, and I was like, okay. This is like fucking awesome. And like, went back and I don't think I listened to another record for months. I mean, and then at Bonnaroo last year, he played the Tent, and it was like the Sturgill Simpson, I'm the fucking boss party. Like, it burned it down. Like, it was like the whole show, you saw it. Like, he just realized that he owned it, and it was like cool. Maybe he was just terrified, like he said in that interview, but I don't think so. I think he was like, I am the shit, and I'm rocking this motherfucking tent. It was
Those tents were like 12,000 people underneath there too.
No, not that many, man. Probably, I mean, a few thousand for sure.
Well, there's like the big tent that has like a shit ton of people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm like the worst guy. Like, if you ask me how to guess how many M&Ms are in a jar or something, jelly beans, I'm last. I'm the worst. I'm like, I don't know, 100 or 1,000,000. I just hated that game. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. So Meta Modern the same way, because that's like we talked about earlier. I mean, that's an album. You gotta start to finish that. It's like it doesn't make sense in a song. And John Moreland's the same way, because you try. Playing someone one John Moreland song is hard. Like that, it's hard to get unless you listen to those records.
It's also hard to pick which one.
They're all and almost none of them work on their own as much as getting to realize that every song is exactly this.
Well, you could almost say the same thing about the Heartbreaker too. That album I listened to front to back and loved it automatically.
Right.
But for people. I remember like having to try to turn my sister-in-law like on to Ryan Adams, and it's like, where where do you start?
You would start with "Come Pick Me Up," but you'd have to like.
But you
can't play
but
that
you
for
can't.
everyone.
Right? And it's just anyway.
That's true.
but-
I mean,
Okay, so
else?
what would you play? Like
on that record?
not on that record, but like on the. If you had to like,
it'd be a mixed CD, and that's all I can say.
Oh,
It'd be about
yeah,
20 songs. I'm not throwing any songs in there because it'd be
What about like?
hours
Gold. I
of
like
conversation.
Gold a lot.
man.
I was gonna say, I think
Yeah,
like
I mean,
you would throw.
something off of Gold would be the most like
Cold Roses
broad.
was one of my favorite records.
But the Gold was the most marketable.
You could go-
for the masses record
Yeah.
for sure.
I think if you had to do it for like 3 songs, you could go like New York, New York,
The whole spectrum.
Lost
Let It
Fingers Small,
Ride.
maybe.
I think from
Nice.
Cold Roses. Either Come Pick Me Up or like
I like. Everybody's got their different tastes. I loved Damn Sam. That was one of my first. That was one of my
well, I
favorite
mean, like
songs
to
ever.
We're doing
make
like
to make
is
somebody
this
a
a top
Ryan
three
Adams.
or just like
Well, no, I'm
what-
just-
like
I
to
think
make
like
somebody listen.
to make somebody a Ryan Adams
right,
fan.
right.
Like just from anyone from like somebody you know who's gonna love Ryan Adams,
Dude, Come Pick Me
or
Up is
like your
infectious,
grandma
man.
or something. You
Come
know.
Pick Me Up is a must. That's got to be on there. Like even if you're tired of it now,
Does,
people who don't like say fuck love that song. You know.
maybe. I don't know, man.
I think
Wine and
those
Wheel's a
three
good
were
one.
like
One was great.
That's right.
And do you do?
Dear
You said Let It
Chicago.
Ride.
yeah.
Yeah, but as a whole, he's just done so many different sounds. You'd have to pick one solo, one with the Cardinals, and maybe one of his new records.
Well, I was gonna say like either. I think like 2 has like that commercial appeal for people off
Two,
Easy Tiger.
That man, that album was cool. It opened
Easy
with
Tigers was a Cardinals record, right? I think it was.
yeah.
I think it was the last one.
No, Cardinalogy.
Cardinalogy was.
Yeah, but Cardinalogy was like something
Was
that
it?
didn't even want to get put out. It was like a bunch of B sides.
Those songs were cool though.
It was
Crossed Out Name.
a lot of them were like demos and shit. I think he was pissed. So it was like a record label dispute. I
Was-
think some things I say I just maybe read on somewhere that wasn't
Easy
true.
Tiger started with Goodnight Rose, right? That was the first song
Yeah,
on that album.
Easy
right?
Tiger
That's a great album.
Because he was producing Willie at the time, so it's like
the
super.
Yeah.
Songbird album.
Yeah, it's
The
super-
My Blue Hotel.
It's such a Willie-esque. I love Easy Tiger. It may be my favorite Ryan Adams record.
Oh,
I mean, it's the one.
hard to pick.
It's
It
like the
depends on
one
the
that's
mood.
not talked about the most enough. I feel
29.
29.
Like.
I think
29.
people slam 29. I think that album's awesome.
like it.
I fucking love that album.
What I think like a lot of people slammed it because it was like the 3rd album of a year, you know.
With rock and roll.
Well, because it was.
Did
it was
rock and roll
supposed to
come
be-
out that year too?
No, it
Or
was,
it-
Cold Roses, Jacksonville City
That's right.
Nights, and
It was
29.
supposed. He wanted to release them.
But I guess like Rock and Roll and Love
as-
as Hell is like basically the
Yeah.
right after each other.
Those times. I like those sounds.
there were 3 of them that were supposed to be released as a 3-album concept, and they were like, no way. And that's actually why Rock and Roll got released. They're like, you can't. If you're going to do this, you have to give us something that's like marketable. And so, what I've read in interviews is like, from his point of view, Rock and Roll was his least favorite
Yeah.
because he was basically like, here's songs, here's this album, okay, here's the 3 that I wanted for this concept. Anyway,
Oh, I thought of something else too. Brandy Carlisle should be up there on some kind of like mountain too. That's like
man,
a
that song
a
vibes,
masterful songwriter. Even though those twins write a lot of those songs too, her guitar player and bass player. But I one day I got really. I didn't mean to just shift to Brandy Carlisle all of a sudden. What were we talking about before? Yeah, just those. But those I got super deep into. Because I knew that one of the twins had written the story by himself. And then I just like went. I was like, what's going on with these people? And she got like, they've all written just masterful songs alone together. Like they're all equally like just badass. She wrote that song, I Will, which I think is like one of the good. You know that song, I Will by Brandy Carlisle? Gotta check that out. It was on the Give Up the Ghost record, which I think is like her best record for sure.
Into that Bear Creek record.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great record.
I like Bear Creek. The previous record was the Give Up the Ghost record. Man, that's a brilliant record. Anyway, sorry. I was just thinking of more people. I was just thinking about more people on the thing.
Yeah, and Andrew Combs, I feel like should be talked about too.
I need to get
As
into
far as,
him.
like,
I
an
love
artist
his-
with a good brand.
I love his.
he's got to sing. He's great, man.
I love that Foolin' song. That's all I know.
Well, and
Yeah.
So I need to listen to him and the Parker Millsap. Is
I
there
like
any?
that Too Stoned to Cry song is like that is. I think it's a really great example of, like you say, kind of a brand of taking, like that's an old sounding country song, but it's not, you know,
Right.
not lonesome, or I'm lonesome, I'm just too stoned to cry.
Yeah, who are y'all's favorite? Like, yeah, I guess you've already listed some. Any other like current like artists? Like,
Man, I love the Raylan Baxter record.
Yeah, me too.
It's
That's
so
killer.
Imaginary Man. That album. Front to
These
back
are. This is what we were telling people in Texas to listen to, right? Is this what we're gonna do?
Oh,
This
yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that who listens
I
to
love
this
that
the
album.
most?
I think it's cool as shit.
I think that's cool. And then I love Lucy Silvus's
Oh
record.
yeah, Lucy. Yeah.
And what
I love
about?
that David Borné record.
Oh yeah, that one's real good. The singer's an asshole, but the songwriter just sucks. But the band's great. What is his name? Matthew Perryman Jones. Do y'all know him? You know who that is?
No.
I just hear. I haven't listened to his stuff, but that's who I've been told to listen to the most lately. I feel like.
Yeah.
I don't know. My buddy Jason loves him.
Bonnie Bishop's new record is really good.
I need to check it out. I love Bonnie.
It's not a shameless plug.
I was about to say Ben's
But
got a cut on
I
that
was
record,
lucky.
which is great.
Oh, that's cool, man. Fuck
Dave
yeah.
Cobb, huge record.
But the
Sounds
record
great.
front to back is awesome. Like,
Awesome.
Great record.
I need to check that out too.
Ryan Beaver record.
Oh gosh.
You know, like honestly, I'm not saying it just because he's a friend. Like, I think it's a great album front to back, and I'd heard that. I think between you and I, like I'd heard those songs a ton before that album came out, but there was 2 or 3 that I didn't hear. They were like kind of welcome surprises when that album did come out. I was like, this is really good. And
I
that
just feel like that is what pop country or like rock.
Should-
That's what pop country should be.
I
It's
totally
I
agree.
think it's
and
perfect.
that's because obviously Ron Beaver record is very, very different from a Raylan
I didn't mean to
Baxter
say
record
that,
or
but like, yeah,
whatever.
I mean, like that's what should be played on
Yeah.
like the radio stations that
It's
are
a-
playing that
it's a
pop country.
great
Sorry, it's a
commercial
rock
sounding country
country
record
great.
with a really great song.
Somebody
Texas people
somebody
probably
asked
hate
me
it.
about it. No, because he's a Texas guy,
I know.
Texas country guy. So everyone loves. Though I don't think it's anything like his old stuff.
No.
I described Beaver's record as like if Eric Church made a record where like every song was good. You know, that's what I don't know. That's what it felt like to me. And like I don't know.
He used some of the similar people in Eric Church's camp on that. Like there were a couple writers that produced.
Yeah,
cool.
his
Which
record.
that's I'm not trying to knock it on Eric Church. I think like he's one of those guys I like to envision is having like these fights with the label, like they're just in a room screaming at each
Yeah,
other.
always.
But like I don't know if that's true. Like I would like to think that he's fighting for what he's.
I think Eric Church is a badass. I love his brand. You know, he's got the branding thing down too.
Man,
Man,
I
his
saw him at
image is
CMA.
his
like,
image is pretty together.
The huge concert at LP Field or Nissan Stadium.
Yeah.
Whatever. At the end of the week at CMA Fest, they do like.
Yeah, you
they
were
do
telling me about this one
stadium
time.
shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does a power trio. It's really like.
That's probably
It's-
just for this
it's-
misunderstood record,
It's pretty
right?
laid
Tour?
back.
Power was probably a loose
Yeah.
loose term there.
Well, right. It
Not
was
like
it was a trio.
Double Trouble was up there.
Right. Sorry. It was a trio.
like Rush.
But it was really it's pretty understated. He didn't play a single like huge radio hit, and dude, like it made me more of an Eric Church fan.
Sure.
You know that I thought it was like he was following. It was a weird night. You know, it was like Keith Urban, Darius Rucker, and then Eric Church. So you're like get an earful of Keith Urban and Darius Rucker, like have these country kind of anthem-y type of songs, and then there's like one spotlight on Eric Church with the trio that's very laid back, and he's not playing any of his hits, and it's like, yeah, man, like and he sounded great. He's badass. So anyway,
Plus Eric.
What the hell?
Plus Eric Church is American for Enrique Iglesias. So there you go. No, like
That is so
and just to show that Eric Church has super street cred with me, because the night that Dave Grohl was up in Losers, man, I just like sat there and eavesdropped to them talking about just being badasses, pretty much. I was like, if Dave Grohl is on Eric Church's team, so am I.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
I'm stealing that quote.
Oh yeah, dude. Somebody, I stole that from somewhere, but I thought somebody tweeted that out. I think it was not Jake Owen, maybe.
That's so
No,
good.
that account's funny.
Yeah, I wish I knew who that was. One day we'll know, maybe.
It'd be funny if it's somebody we.
It's a good kept secret, I would think, unless just nobody tells me because I have a big mouth or something. You know what this is? This is Twitter account. It's called Not Jake Owen.
Oh, okay. I'm
And it
familiar
just
with.
rips the country music scene in Nashville pretty very humorously. I would
There's-
say.
It's obvious.
I think like that's now there's. It feels like every week I'm getting followed by like a new parody account of in Texas. And I'm like, man, like how many
I'm gonna start
like,
not
how
new
many-
slang. And
well,
I'm
like
gonna-
there's been like a drunk Josh Abbott one, and there's been like there's one. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like it was started the other day. It was like, how many damn parody accounts, or like people were just trying to be,
Right.
I don't know, like not necessarily sassy, but like
Yeah,
like
satirical.
The best not Jake Owen that I remembered yesterday was whenever that whoever the exec was that came out and said, that the radio guy that said, women are like the tomatoes in the salad, like women country artists. He was just, being a big dick. And not Jake Owen comes out. And or a little dick, yeah, that's better. Not Jake Owen starts listing like what everyone would be in the country music salad, and he goes, Sturgill Simpson is the lasagna of the salad. It's like it's so goddamn good, and for some reason we don't put it in the salad.
That's awesome.
So the other ones were way meaner.
That's funny.
Pretty hilarious, man. I'd highly recommend giving it a follow because it's me. This is how I came out. It's not Jake Owen. No, I wish.
yeah. Okay, something I find. I guess it's one of those things where, especially growing up, I guess we're all around the same age. You buy a record, and like that kind of becomes like your favorite record of that band. Now, like albums, you can just access, like we were just talking about, like the Ryan Adams discography,
Right.
like, and we're all familiar. But like when you're growing up, so many of those artists you're only familiar with
Certain records. For
because,
sure.
like I was talking to some buddies about like the Wallflowers, and everyone's like, what is it, like Bring Down the Horse? Yeah, and like that's the one, and I was like, well, I've missed that shit. But I was like on like Rebel Sweetheart, like what was
on that record?
Killed.
I think like Dearly Beloved.
Don't know it.
But it was like I've not listened to it in a while, but it was one of those like records that was like my
loved
favorite
it.
record
Yeah, that's
from the Wallflowers. Like, is there a band like that for y'all?
Like that.
Like an example, like just the
like you missed the
like you just like
yeah.
Yeah. Man, I don't know.
I think I mean
Yeah, back to that Teddy Thompson thing. Like
mm-hmm.
for me.
yeah. I feel like I've discovered a lot of bands on a later record and had to go back.
And-
But now with everything being so accessible,
yeah.
and I was having an argument, or not argument, just a differing of opinions with someone the other day that was like, I prefer to listen to the newest record first. Like most people, like say like someone's like check out this artist, and it's like I just want to see where they're at because like
Yeah.
if you know where they're at and how they got there is interesting to me.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good point, man.
I was like, where did their journey? Like I know where their journey ends, like, but then the beginning's more interesting. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Another Texas group. I guess a lot of them are here now. You know them, Ben, or I guess you know a couple of them. But no, the Jonathan Tyler record, like
Yeah.
the Holy Smokes record. Not Holy Smokes. That's the newest one. The
Yeah.
Pardon Me. And which one was before that?
Um,
I think I love those records so much.
Hot Trottin' or something like
Hot
that.
Trottin', that was
Like
it.
nobody knows that record because it's not
They pulled
available.
it
Kind of
from
yeah.
iTunes, right? But I love that record because I think there's such a void right now in that type of rock and roll.
Yeah.
And like I go back, I really like that Holy Smokes record. I like that Going Down to the City song.
Yeah.
That's badass.
I think like that.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, go.
And I like the Pardon Me. That's what it's called, right? The
Yeah.
Pardon Me record. I liked that record, but I really loved that Hot Trottin' record.
Yeah.
That was so cool, and it was like just straight up gritty rock and roll. And I like, what he's been writing now too, very very much. But I like that just kind of raw rock and roll kind of throwback.
I think I know, like with his new record, when it came out, Holy Smokes, a lot of people were, oh, why didn't you make Pardon Me again? Which I think Pardon Me he was on a major label, and that kind of pushed it towards being a harder rock sound. And it would be I think like there's some good songs on there, but I know like he had trouble trying to get another record on that same label.
Gotcha.
And I think they were kind of like pushing him in a bad rock.
Right.
Like more of a like, can we make you into a Kid Rock?
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if they were saying that, but like I had that feeling because he was never like that record not Hot Trottin', but Pardon Me came out like 6 years ago now, and they were like on
from Adam.
Yeah.
But I knew those records. Like I love those.
But like his new record it's like a rock record.
I thought you.
It's like a.
He's like, like,
I thought you did.
JT?
I thought you knew.
I know.
It's like a rock record, but it's like a.
Oh, he's bassist.
Chase.
Is that you're talking Chase? Yeah, Chase McGillis.
Oh yeah, I guess Chase lives here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that, I guess their new record, it's more of like the cosmic country rock kind of sound. And I like that record a lot more. But I know a lot of people were like, "Why didn't you make Pardon Me again?" And it's like, well, I think Holy Smokes was the sound he was always wanting.
Yeah.
More of the cosmic country. Like he has like
Makes sense. Well, the Hot Trottin' record, I think the reason I keep going back to it too is because remember them and like, was it Otis and like Green River
Yeah.
Gardens? All those bands used to come to Lubbock and like slay.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the era of those records.
yeah.
Like I think I was like a fan. Like I went to every show they'd come
Yeah.
to Lubbock
Like that-
when I was living there.
Do you know him?
No, I don't know.
I met him at South by, man. He's awesome.
Really? I
Yeah,
mean-
sweetest guy, man. And I saw a couple of the shows. They were rocking.
Into their shows.
He's actually playing in Lubbock tonight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Shout out.
Yeah.
Well, whenever.
Which
this
it's
thing-
not gonna. Yeah. But that's the
Man,
thing,
you guys
right?
Missed a good one.
You guys missed a good one.
Well,
You
like
did
he's
good.
It's crazy what happened to that Jonathan Tyler show in Lubbock.
Well, I guess like that's one of the up and coming producers down in Texas is Bo Bedford. I don't know if you're
Oh,
familiar
yeah,
with Bo.
He worked on.
but
he did
he's-
Paul Cawthon's new record.
Yeah, he did. Which Paul Cawthon's new record's gonna be coming out like in August or so, sometime around there.
That sounds awesome.
It
Sounds really.
it is really it's fucking good. It's kind of like what I told him. It was kind of like Roy Orbison mixed with like Marty Robbins and
Oh,
Van
yeah.
Yeah,
Morrison.
It's like Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
It's like a spaghetti western thing. It was,
Yeah.
It's
I
cool.
dig that.
A little bit of like some Elvis swagger in it, like, but like Bo he produced Jonathan's record. He's produced, I guess he's in Otis, or not Otis, but Larry G, who used to be the lead singer of
Yeah.
Otis. Blanking on, they're all like Dallas Fort Worth bands, and Kay Phillips too. I think he's produced his Kay Phillips new record whenever it's coming out.
Who did he do the Quaker City Nighthawk stuff or no?
Yeah, I think so. I don't
What?
know about the new one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Quaker
But-
City Nighthawks.
Those guys are cool.
That's an awesome name. I don't know them.
Yeah, look that
Oh, well.
band up, man.
I'm
Like,
gonna have a lot of new music to
that-
listen to. I'm just gonna have to go drive somewhere.
Some good rock and roll.
yeah,
Cool.
that's kind of, I guess, in a way, like Jonathan Tyler is like cousins. If
Yeah,
you had to compare a band, like it's not the same thing, but like in a way, yeah. So like, who's other than like Dave Cobb as far as producers? Like, who's the hot name? Who's the guy who you feel like is, or girl, who's?
I think the guy that's about to do Ross's record is gonna blow up, or doing it. Jordan Lenny and I don't know Eric,
Eric Massey.
but Eric works on some great stuff. But I mean, Jordan seems like a genius to me. He made a girl named Cree Harrison's record recently, and it is just on fire. He and Benji Davis co-produced it, which was cool. I think Jay Joyce is like probably the the biggest deal in terms of, I mean, well, or Dave, you know. Dave's probably a pretty big deal now, too. But Jay, I mean, he works on whatever he wants. He was like Pharrell and Little Big. His church is on my block.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he made this old church a studio, and I saw that Phil from Little Big Town was out there and said they were in the studio with Pharrell, which I guess everyone knows now, but I'm like, Jay Joyce, Pharrell, and Little Big Town are just kicking it in the church right there. I'm like, that's pretty wild, man. Those would be I'm not sure who else. I really like Ken Coomer, too, who did all, like, Will Hogue stuff back in the day. He's a bud. He does a lot of good stuff.
And another guy that's like Jordan, I guess Skylar Wilson does.
Okay.
He's done, he's done work on that. I don't know if did he do work on that Combs record, too?
Yeah, who did that record?
Well, Jordan did.
That thing sounds
I guess Jordan and Skylar did.
Yeah.
it's
The
such a...
Nigerian- that's the Raylan record, the All These Streams record.
Who did Waylon? Right, sorry, excuse me.
Oh, Gaddis, dude.
Gaddis did
Gaddis.
Raylan's record?
No.
He wears Hanes.
Oh, no, Raylan.
Raylan?
No, I'm saying
no,
wrong. Raylan Baxter, sorry.
Eric and
Okay, so yeah, Eric Massey too, man. That's some big stuff. And then Jordan's going to do my bud Paul McDonald's record too at some point.
yeah, man. Those guys are awesome too. They're like, it's funny because when I reached out to those guys, it was like I didn't think they would buy it. You know what I mean? Like they get emails all the time from people wanting to, hey, looking for producers, shopping around for producers.
Right.
And I just like I didn't think I had a snowball's chance in hell. And then they bit, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. It's kind of it was nerve wracking, like going into that studio the first day, and it's like all these cats that are some of the best pickers around town, and they all have like 5 to 10 years on me, and they're all like, they're the cool guys, That's kind of what it is. That whole group, all those kind of producers and engineers in that group that y'all mentioned they're the cool kids, and it's like I feel lucky to get to work with some of those guys for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, producers are a big deal, and having producers that have your back are a big deal. That can help you a ton. I mean, if they don't, whatever. But I don't know. Those are the ones I know. I don't know many more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a ton of producers.
Yeah, there's probably just so many really, really amazing ones. Those are big names.
Dave Brainerd.
Oh yeah, dude.
Dude. Dave's like one of the nicest guys.
He's so nice. I went up to his studio for the first time recently. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He's a cool
Wrote a song.
Yeah. We're coming up on 5:30. You guys
Yeah. Maybe
good?
start rapping.
Yeah, we can wrap it.
All right. Well, it was fun.
Thanks for having us.
This time next week, right?
Yeah.